Guys, Michaela here, headed to the Nicaragua border. I had a rough day yesterday coming from El Salvador into Honduras. I was scammed out of some money because I don't have my title, I just have the registration to my car. And this fixer was a shark and definitely, played on my fears around not being able to get my vehicle through, and I'm impressed and also feel really stupid. But they're good at what they do. Went to bed feeling like an idiot, woke up this morning feeling like an idiot, listened to some Ram Dass. He's helping me put it in perspective that this is part of my curriculum, and coaching myself that it's okay, the money will come back to me, and they need it more than I do, and all of those things. But still, hard to not feel like an ass. I think I should have just done it myself, the car part of it. They did help with my animals though, because I got my stamp out of El Salvador for the pets, but you have to have a permit in the same place on the El Salvador side to get into Honduras with your pets, and that could have ended up in my pets being confiscated if I was stopped and didn't have the paperwork. And that was the whole thing. Because my car was already across and I was already across, we had to take a tuk-tuk, which is this little kind of three-wheel vehicle with a overhead with a top. And so I've got my two dogs, two cats in the carriers, and then the guy who was helping me and the driver, and it was quite a scene. We were zooming through the border town there to get back to where I needed to get my permit. So that was an adventure. The whole thing was just exhausting and hot, and I am feeling more hopeful today. I was pretty bummed and disheartened by yesterday, but then this morning I stopped for gas and had read that I need to get small change for the border here because they don't have it, and so I went into the store to ask for change via my little translator, and they were just going to give me Lempira, and then I typed out that I'm headed to the border and I need change in USD, and so the guy went to the back and brought me out USD, and I teared up because of the kindness. Because they didn't have to do that, and it's not like being in my home country where I'll just go to another gas station, because it's every time you go in to interact, it's intense because I don't speak the language. I don't know what kind of person I'm going to run into. In Mexico, it was mostly kindness. Since Mexico, it's been a mixed bag. And then yesterday, I don't want to say it broke my spirit, but it was pretty heavy. Just feel really foolish, but I have to remember they're good at what they do, and they definitely saw the dumb gringa, I guess, coming in her somewhat decent vehicle and decided that apparently I have money that they can take. Not exactly the case, and so that's frustrating, and part of me wanted to go back and I don't know, tell on them, or at least tell them I know what the fuck they did. But here we are. I'm probably maybe 45 minutes from the border to Nicaragua. I thought Nicaragua and Costa Rica were going to be my hard borders. Yesterday proved different, although I think that if I would have just done it myself, it wouldn't have been so difficult. But then again, I wouldn't have gotten the animal permit. So perfection of what is, we're trusting that. Just really expensive animal permit. And TIP, they're blaming it on the car. They were saying, like I said, but anyway. But today into Nicaragua, you've got to declare things. You get a customs form, and I do have binoculars, which may be an issue. I have a couple knives, which may be an issue. Apparently they're I should expect a more thorough search, possibly an x-ray for the vehicle. But we'll see. I mean, I'm getting kind of the hang of it, but every border is different. And all I can do is show up and hope for the best, which is what I've been doing. We'll be spending about 5 days in Nicaragua. I'm supposed to go hike a volcano tomorrow on Ometepe Island. I was considering moving to Ometepe Island instead of, it's really pretty here this morning. So I'm taking it all in. But I'm headed to, I gotta go check out Costa Rica. It's not, not gonna happen. I don't know. Ometepe may still be it, but regardless, if I need to go check it out tomorrow, or don't need to, but planning to, just to get myself out of the house. It is my one down day before I work again, and then travel into Costa Rica. So I considered just resting, but figured I may be bored. I'm a little nervous about leaving the animals for so many hours, because I've got to drive, which is 45 minutes. I've got to take a ferry, which is an hour there, and then 90 minutes back, and then the hike itself. So hopefully we can kind of book it, and it won't be terribly long. My dogs are great at going, most of the day, and they'll be okay. I just don't want them to potty on anybody's stuff. But again, they're really good. I just trying to not let my fear run the show, particularly after yesterday. Things like that tend to, I think, for a lot of people, make you kind of shrink, right? That you've been taken, or that you did something stupid, or it didn't go well, or it cost you resources, all of that. And I think I almost canceled my hike tomorrow, but then I'm like, that's these guys robbing me of that too, and we can't have that. So still planning to go check that out. I'm excited to get to this spot in Nicaragua. I have really been looking forward to this particular Airbnb. It's very open, lots of windows on a mountain that overlooks the jungle and then the ocean, and spending several days there. We'll do my work week there, and then I do have to get another document in Nicaragua for the pets before I cross into Costa Rica, and then hopefully making it to Costa Rica. I haven't booked anything in Costa Rica yet, just gonna play that by ear. I hate to support certain corporations, but I'm pretty grateful for Airbnb at this point, because it gives me the confidence to do this, along with other things, but because of the pets, right? If it wasn't for the pets, I could probably just find a hotel, but with 4 animals, either they want to charge you out the nose, or they're not going to let you in. So even if it's just for a couple nights before I find somewhere else that I want to stay for a couple weeks or whatever, I feel confident that through that system I'm gonna have lodging. So yeah, that's the update for now, and I will check in again soon. Bye. Hey guys, Michaela here. Made it across into Nicaragua, thank God. Was definitely worried today after yesterday, and I did end up getting taken in by another coyote. I guess my being a gringa and my vehicle has made me quite the target. I think the guys from yesterday also told this guy to look out for me. I don't know, or to watch for me, not to look out for me in a way that is in a positive sense. Although he was helpful, he was gonna, he wouldn't leave me alone. I told him I didn't have any money to pay him. I told him, after yesterday, I'm not asking for his help, and he just stuck with me. Ended up being very useful. Again, the Spanish barrier, the agents here, some of them, the men were patient, the women were not. And that was interesting, but I wouldn't have known where to get my pet paperwork. It was past a bunch of trucks and on the other side of the road, and not in the same building as everything else. And then the customs piece was a bitch. I have these big, like Tyvek tarp type material zipper bags, and they're huge and they're heavy, and all of those had to come out and go through scanners. They definitely searched my car, completely unpacked everything, which I had everything very specifically and strategically packed, is a better word. But yeah, anyway, got it all back in. I guess that's all that matters. My books, we had to count every one of them. I've got 29 books. They asked my profession. I don't know if that had to do with the books, and maybe that made sense, but I was afraid they were going to take some of them. That was a big concern early on, especially because some of them are religious material, and I heard that was not. I have the Bhagavad Gita and I have the Yoga Sutras, so I was worried about that, but they didn't take any of those. They did take one of my knives. They did find another one of my knives. So they took my tactical knife, which I'm not thrilled about, but they didn't take I have a stiletto, and I guess she didn't see that, but kind of bummed about that. Didn't take my binoculars. I guess they're not high-tech enough, which works for me. When we were in line trying to get my car documents done, apparently another tourist can't find his backpack, so basically accused me, and the customs people made me open my vehicle so he could look in it. Of course, his backpack's not in here. Take your fucking backpack. And what else? Yeah, it was a mess. But we're through. It took, I don't even know when I started. I wasn't really paying attention. Probably about 2 hours total from exiting Honduras to entering Nicaragua, maybe a little longer. But the whole time, none of it was really waiting. I wasn't waiting much. It was mostly behavioral stuff. So like getting the dogs and the cats through, and then all of my stuff inspected, and then packing it all back in, and then getting the car thing, and it was quite the event. They were only going to give me 3 days because I put on the customs form that I was headed to Costa Rica. So if you are doing something similar and you want more than 3 days, you need to put Nicaragua as your destination on the customs form, not the actual place you're going if Nicaragua isn't it. She just crossed it out, and it just, the blood drained from my face every time the helper looked at me and said, "This is a problem." Because that's what they kept saying to me yesterday. This is a problem, and of course they are the ones that were going to fix it. And so I think he kind of took it easy on me because he saw, maybe not, I don't know, but I ended up giving him $70, which was reasonable to me. Like I said, he wanted to charge me $200 initially. I'm like, I'm out, guy. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm here, and I get to kind of relax for a week. I do have a fire extinguisher, which is required, but I just read last night that they also want the orange triangles, the traffic things, in case you're, stuck on the side of the road or something. I don't have those, so not sure. I guess maybe if I run across them, I would buy them, but I don't know. My big brother's been praying for me with his church group, and they prayed for me again today, so said I need it. Oh shoot. There we go. Trying to pass, and got a little intense for a second. Yeah, so that's the update. We're headed to the next destination, near Ometepe Island, and yeah, that's all for now. Take care. Hey guys, Michaela here again. Thought I was scot-free since I got through into Nicaragua, but no. All along the way since I've left the States, there's police checkpoints, and in Mexico I'm usually waved through. or I was usually way through. I got stopped at like 2 or 3 total. Here, I get stopped almost every time, which, okay. I have my documents ready to go. This last time I was stopped, he had me pull over. He took my license and he was saying something in Spanish, and I knew it had to do with money because Quantos was used, and so I had him type into my phone what he was talking about, and he wanted to charge me, he wanted to fine me $2,500. I'm assuming USD because translated into Nicaraguan money, that's just $60, which, you know, but $2,500 and for speeding. But there's no speed sign, there's no speed limit sign, and I don't know where he would have gotten my speed from. Like, you know, so I was taken aback and confused and scared because I didn't have $2,500. Are you kidding me? And trying to communicate this, but he put my license in his pocket and basically said, I'm not getting back my license yet until I pay. So I have this document that, thank God, I printed out just in case, and it's to give to authorities that are trying to bribe you, and it lays out in Spanish that basically I'm willing to accompany you to the station for a ticket and those types of things, but if you're asking me to pay a fine here, I will take your badge number, I will report you. And so he's reading through this, and I'm reading the English version at the bottom because he's right here, and I'm thinking, oh God, it's just gonna piss him off, and kind of nervous about having done this. But I didn't know what else to do because I didn't have money, and so I'm not giving you $2,500 for speed. That's insane. Clearly this is extortion. He takes I could tell he was asking me where I got the paper, and I just at that point played dumb. I don't know what you're saying. No entiendo. I don't understand. And so he took it over to his counterpart, and his counterpart read it, and they asked me again, where'd you get this? No entiendo. And the guy hands me back my license, and I'm like, are we good? And then his buddy came over and went like this, like, you're gonna get arrested. And the whole time I'm trying to keep a straight face, like, you know, I had texted my dad that I had just been pulled over. I sent him my location because I don't know what's about to happen. And it's one thing about whatever happens to me, it was my animals that I was worried about. It's gonna make me tear up. It's very scary for that reason. So I'm grateful that the handles on my doors go flush with the vehicle. So I'm thinking he probably would have tried to open the door while he was reading something. He, like, I find Latin men want to try to touch my tattoos, and he like kind of touched me, and it was so fucking gross. He had long dirty nails, and there's more police up here, so hopefully that's not going to be a problem. So yeah, I essentially had this horrific experience in the sense that I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. My dad said call the police, and I'm thinking there's police here, but he's right. And so I'm Googling the number to call police here. There's a tourist police, which is good to know, and you dial 101. And then I'm also thinking, do I call the embassy? Like, what do I do? And I'm fairly naively trusting. I'll say that. And this experience with the fixers at the border and these assholes, my trust is destroyed. Like, don't even fucking look at me right now. I have no time for you. but I mean, I'm stuck in their country. What am I going to do? And the only reason that I stuck to the whole take me to your station, write up a ticket, and knew to do that was, number one, through my research. And then number two, if you think about it logically, they don't want to do the paperwork. They're not going to take you back to the station for something that's illegal that they're doing. And arresting me and all of that, I hope they understand that there would be higher authorities involved at some point. But who knows what they would have done to me in the interim. So this is my first, like, well, not my first slap of reality. There have been a few of those, but this one, man. So where I've been rolling up on police before, because my little Waze map will tell me when they're upcoming, I've not been afraid because, you know, I got my shit in order. This scared me. And so now I'm thinking I've got this volcano trip tomorrow, but I've got to drive a little ways, and trying my best to not just cancel that, because again, I don't want fear to win. But holy shit, y'all, this, ugh. So anybody considering this kind of thing, maybe get that document. I can't believe it worked. My big brother said that he and his elders, or who, I forget who it is at the church that prays for me on Sundays, but it's working. And I was praying at that time too, to, you know, ancestors, higher energy, whatever. Like, this can't, I mean, what is this? $2,500? Are you kidding me? So anyway, I knew I wanted to add that to this post that I was putting out. Don't have much else to say about it. I'm about 25 miles from my Airbnb. It's been about a 5-hour drive since I crossed the border, which was the normal drive. I haven't really been stuck, knock on wood, behind anything. Like, I mean, I'm stuck behind a truck right now, but I'm going the speed limit. And so, and I wasn't, I mean, maybe I was speeding before, but again, there's no sign, and there's no radar. There's, you know, there wasn't anything to prove that I had been speeding. So I don't know if it was another attempt to you know, take over, or to take advantage of the stupid gringa, or what. But fortunately that didn't pan out for them, and whatever's on that document scared them enough that they gave me back my license, and I got the little handcuffs sign language there, but nothing came of it. So I'm going to fill you in there, and God, I hope the rest of my trip is a little smoother. Talk soon. Hey guys, wasn't planning on another video, but this place warrants it. Oh my gosh. So I'm at my next stop, and this is the view. I mean, come on. This is the house. You got a bedroom there. See, Leo's already out enjoying it. Look at this. So there's one bedroom. I think I'm gonna stay in the one a little further from the road, but look at this bathroom. Definitely the most modern place I've stayed on my journey. It's fairly new, so understandable. And this is my bedroom. There's that view. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So we made it, talking to my new temporary landlord here. She thinks that he meant 2,500 in their currency, which is only about 60 bucks. And she said that usually she just kind of slips him a 20 and calls it good. So maybe not. So I don't need to panic so much if I get pulled over again, which is good, because every single checkpoint I went through after that whole event had me like palpitating. But I can probably just handle it with, you know, 20 bucks, which, okay, we can do that. But yeah, interesting day. Thanks for hanging out. Talk soon.